Boom. Yeah.
All right. Good morning. Everybody, and happy football Sunday. Saturday has come and gone, and man, oh man, do we got a lot of college football we're talking about. We're gonna get into all of that in a bit, but big man, what you got to say?
Oh, good morning. I'm happy. It's football Sunday. After a Saturday built with upsets. Yeah, yeah. Let's get into the show. Let's start the show, man.
Let's start the show. Indeed, we got a lot of stuff we're talking about.
Game day countdown with Mack and James. It's game day countdown, round rise and shine. Mack and James with the sports talk line. Big plays, bright lights, teams on the rise. From the first snap to the final drive. Big hits, big plays, all the highlights. Countdown's on, it's football time. Game day countdown, Mack and James, let's go. Game day countdown with Mack and James.
All right, good. Once again, good morning, y'all. Hope everybody had an awesome Saturday yesterday, and man, what a Saturday yesterday even was.
Yes. So, what do you want me to just go down? Matter of fact, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down, and you stop me when it's boom time. All right, Maryland going into Oregon and losing 39-18. That was expected. All right. Purdue going into Ohio State and getting demolished 0-45.
Yeah, they got their asses shut the fuck out.
Yeah, dude, I was so happy. I was walking around Patterson Park and I took my kids out and we got ice cream and pizza at Matthews. And I wore that Ohio State jersey and I got a couple, yeah. And I was like, yeah, we in here today.
I mean, I'll say this though. One game that really surprised me, it was a game between of two of probably the worst teams in the country. The game being Kennesaw State and UTEP, who both teams have one win. Well, now UTEP has 2 wins now. And this game went to double overtime, and the final score was 35-43 in favor of UTEP. And I'm just like, wow. I knew both teams were bad, but I really didn't expect them to need double overtime to put up this kind of score.
I mean, yeah, it's decent fundamentals with a very lack of talent.
Yeah.
That's really it. Okay, so next up, the big upset. Number 3 Georgia playing number 16 Ole Miss, and Georgia did not show up.
No, they did not.
Is this a fit? Like, are the playoffs not an option now?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know. Georgia, like
That's
this
2 losses now. That's 2
yeah.
losses.
I mean, look, I get their loss against Alabama, and they nearly mounted the comeback to get the win, but losing to Ole Miss, like that could really hurt your chances at even getting into the college football playoffs if they even try to get into the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're heavily favored. I know people like Georgia. I know. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I mean, that
we're Alabama. Don't worry.
This is a big fall. This is a big fall.
It is. This is definitely a loss that Georgia could not afford. I mean, I've been saying all year that this is going to be a revenge tour for Georgia. They're going to go back. They're going to just beat down anybody that's put in their way. But losing to teams like Alabama and Ole Miss, man, I don't know if that revenge tour is looking likely right now.
They need Todd Monken back. They need Todd Monken back. That's what they need.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would gracefully give him back because he is shit in some of these games. But
for sure.
Speaking of one upset, let's move to the next upset. Number 4 Miami getting beat by Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia Tech did the same thing that they did to Florida State, and that was just run the ball down their damn throat. Haynes King, 20 carries for 93 yards, averaging 4.7 yards a carry and 1 rushing touchdown. Not to mention he threw for a passing touchdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, when you get beat in all phases of football, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You were the better team. You came in with a big head, and these guys came in with a chip on their shoulder, and they had something to prove, and they proved it.
They did. I mean, there's been some people out there that really have said, "Hey, you know what? Miami should have 3-4 losses on their schedule right now, including this one to Georgia Tech." But I mean, hey, Georgia Tech showed, you know what? We're not intimidated by Miami. They may be undefeated. Cam Ward might be a serious Heisman candidate, but we're not intimidated by these guys.
Yeah. Next up, we had Florida going into number 5, Texas, and Texas reamed them.
Yes, they did. Oh my God, that wasn't even a matchup for Texas. That was basically a prelim fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. Next up, Washington going into number 6, Penn State, and Penn State handled business. I heard a little bit of chirping that Washington might make the upset. Washington's going to make this a close game. It wasn't. A lot of people didn't want to bet on this game because they thought this was one of the trap games this week.
Right.
It was not.
And
it was not.
Yeah.
35 Penn State handled business. They did what they needed to do, and they got a good win here.
Yeah, this was definitely a great bounce back win for Penn State coming off their loss to number 4 Ohio State. This is definitely something that they needed to get their confidence back and be like, hey, you know what? We definitely deserve to be in the college football playoffs.
Okay, next up we have Mississippi State going into Knoxville, Tennessee. And yeah, Tennessee put a whooping on them, 33-14. Mississippi State is one team we like, oh yeah, they're not going to give up. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep playing. Trying to play. Yeah, I mean, look, by halftime, this game was over. Game was over. Like we've seen how this game was trending, and it looked good. Okay. Now on to my game of the week. Okay.
Oh boy.
Michigan going into number 8, Indiana. What did everybody say? Everybody said, "Oh, Michigan's going to win." We had one of our hosts, co-hosts from the host of College Sports Villains. Okay, we had him say that they were going to cover the 14-point spread. They lost by 5. They did. They did not cover.
No.
Okay. So yeah, fucking Hoosiers. Who's your daddy, baby? That's what they're saying. Who's your daddy? All right, the Hoosiers are your daddy. Okay, remaining still undefeated. They still have one more big game coming up on their schedule. Ohio State. I mean, that's going to be an uphill battle. We know that, but the simple fact is, they still have a chance. Okay, to make the playoffs. Even if they got one loss, they still have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will say this, speaking of college sports villains, I was the lone wolf on picking Missouri to beat Oklahoma. Look, Oklahoma, I get it. It's your first year in the SEC, but this is the SEC. This is where the big dogs play. And I picked Missouri and basically became a laughing stock. Oh, ain't a laughing stock no more because Missouri put Oklahoma in their place.
Yeah, I bet on Missouri. I bet on Missouri yesterday.
Okay.
I bet on Missouri yesterday.
Yeah, 30-23. When you go with a gut feeling, you stick with it.
Yep. And you know who fucked up my parlay this week?
Who was that?
Iowa fucking State. I bet on Iowa State again. I picked them losing my parlay. I did it again. I said, you know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They should be able to beat Kansas. They did not. But all right, sticking back to the schedule, we got BYU going into Utah. This was another one that Las Vegas thought that BYU might lose.
Yeah, this was
very close. and it was a close game.
Yeah.
BYU won 22-21. It,
Mhm.
it wasn't a blowout by any means, but this is another good win against a good football team and good
Mhm.
coaching. So it's just one of those things. It just makes BYU that much better.
Yeah, for sure. Another close game was number 12 Boise State getting the win over unranked Nevada, 28-21. Ashton Genty had himself a night last night, getting over 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. I mean, look, if that's not a reason why the dude should be a favorite for the Heisman Trophy, I don't know what is. The dude put on one hell of a performance last night.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure, and that's what I'm saying. Like my case is between him and Travis Hunter.
Mhm.
Those are the two that are right there for me. And
Yeah,
it's kind of just like both of them have had so many amazing games this season.
right.
And the only thing that puts Travis Hunter over is the fact that he's doing it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and it might have to do with the fact that the head coach of Colorado is Deion Sanders as well. So
Well, I mean, that's not going to bring me bias for a Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That would bring me bias to root for that team
right.
to hope the players. You know what I mean? Like that. But as far as like getting the Heisman, no,
Hmm.
I firmly believe that it should be the most talented player in college football,
Oh,
bar
for
none.
sure.
Doesn't matter what position, you have to be the best. And that's why I'm saying Travis Hunter and Ashanti is like right there, neck and neck. But I have Hunter just a smidgen higher because
Okay.
he's playing both sides of the ball. That's
Right. No,
uh
that's fair. I mean, yeah, he is definitely doing it on both sides of the ball, and it's really impressive too. I mean, it's not every day you see a guy playing both sides of the game and and do it at the level that he's doing it right now.
absolutely. Absolutely. Next up, we have Florida State going into Notre Dame, and they get absolutely trashed. They they won by 49 points.
Yeah,
Okay, this
52-3. It wasn't even close.
it was
But
a shellacking.
yeah, it was just a beat down. I mean, but we knew that Florida State was going to be horrible this year. I mean, and their record really shows for it. The fact that they only put up 3 points were only able to get 3 points against Notre Dame is just asinine.
Yes. That's crazy in itself. Next up, we have Alabama going into LSU, um,
Hmm.
42-13. Like we knew
Oof.
Alabama was going to win,
Yep.
and they definitely showed. They showed they were the complete better team in all phases of this game.
Yep.
They took control and they never let go.
Right.
Um, like seriously proud to see what these guys did. Like it was very, very happy and satisfying for me.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong, LSU won me some money earlier this year, but when it comes down to it, like I want to see the better teams win. And
Yeah.
Alabama from top to bottom is better than LSU.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No, they definitely showed that. Alabama definitely showed why they were the better team and why they should be in the college football playoffs. Look, they got 2 losses on their schedule right now, being Vanderbilt and which is probably upset of the year if I'm being honest, and Tennessee. But I mean, they're gonna have their bad games, and yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
mean, right now the SEC is anybody's ball game.
all right. So we talked about Boise State win. We talked about
So,
Iowa State getting shellacked, and
yep.
next Virginia
Another
beat
upset.
Pittsburgh in Pitt.
Yeah, I was just about to say another upset that we had Saturday was Virginia beating 18th ranked Pittsburgh. This is a loss that is definitely going to knock Pittsburgh out of the top 25 rankings.
I mean, yeah, I just like they should have won this game. They
No,
should
for
have won
sure.
this was a game that I mean, in my concern, they had to win this game. They lost this
Mhm.
game.
They
Uh,
did.
there's
Um
no postseason here. There's
no,
no
for sure. No. I mean, even if Pitt was able to get into the college football playoffs, they'd be out. And there's no redemption for them. Honestly, though, I think with Pittsburgh going down and out of the top 25 rankings, I think Navy moves up to the rankings again with their 28-7 win over South Florida.
Okay. Next up, we have Colorado versus Texas Tech. Colorado put a whooping on them boys. They got so mad. Texas Tech got so mad that they were throwing shit at Shiloh Sanders. They were throwing stuff at the Colorado sidelines.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like it just showed you exactly how trashy that fan base is. Like I understand that you're losing, but come on, man. Like
Yeah.
that shit is so distasteful.
Yeah,
Like
no, for sure. I mean,
that made me happy that they're good. You lost. You lost by fucking over 10 points. Like you know what I mean? Or what is it? 13? Yeah, it's like 13 points. They lost 13, 14 points. Like
yeah,
you deserve that. You deserve that. You and your shitty fan base can go ahead and get fucked, just
yeah.
like Colorado did to
Yeah,
your ass.
I mean, look, I don't know why they were throwing temper tantrums on the sideline and everything like that, throwing shit at Shador Sanders or even being disrespectful towards Colorado's sideline. Look, Colorado is in the rankings for a reason, and I mean, look, Texas Tech really has nothing to be ashamed about. They put up 27 points. Sure, Colorado scored 41, but I mean, they when you look at it, it's not that bad of a score and doesn't look like it was that bad of a game. So, I mean, look, if y'all were that upset, then hey, you should have won the game.
There you go. All right. Next up, we got Utah State going into Washington State. Washington State handled business, 49-28.
Yep.
They could be moving up the rankings a little bit, but they're sitting
Mm-hmm.
at 21 right now, so we'll see. Clemson going into Virginia Tech and no, they won. They beat Virginia Tech 24-14.
Yep.
I mean, Clemson is so wishy-washy that it's like one week they look good, the other week they look shitty.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I'm glad I
mean,
stopped betting on them.
yeah. Look, I mean, one team that could very well find themselves in the rankings as well is UNLV after their win over Hawaii. I
Yeah,
mean, there's good.
I don't know. I don't know. UNLV, ain't that where the guy that had the quarterback stepped down and left?
Yeah, he was supposed to get like a certain amount of money, but only got like a third or quarter of it.
Yeah, okay. Um,
Well, they about to be after this win. Who knows? Only thing I know is that Army is going to be moving up the rankings. Yeah, I mean UNLV is 7-2 on the year right now, so we'll see how the new rankings look when they come out. I
and
mean,
the
if
last
they
game
look,
that I have is Army going into North Texas and giving
mm-hmm,
14-3. I mean,
yeah,
it's not the game that I thought, but yeah, no, I mean they won, but yeah, like this person just says, yeah, Army's gonna have to play Notre Dame,
yeah,
and yeah,
that'll be
yeah,
Army's first loss. There's no doubt about that. And hell, on top of that, we still got the Army Navy game. I mean, that we'll see how that game plays out, and if Navy can still stay can win out their schedule, man, and hand Army their second loss, things are going to be interesting.
oh, that is for sure. I mean, dude, I'm very interested on how these playoffs are gonna go.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
all right, so that's our college football wrapped up in a bow. Those are the big games. I know we didn't touch on a lot of the smaller games, but I wanted to go through
Hmm.
the top 25 games that happened this week. Like I said, we always have a little bit of back and forth on college. We're obviously getting more into college as the time progresses on this network.
Yep. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that are going on right now with college football and with the playoffs looming, man, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, our next up topic is going to be the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Thursday night football already happened. It's Sunday morning.
Yep.
So we had Cincinnati going into Baltimore, and it was everything everyone pretty much thought it was going to be. It was going
Yeah.
to be a bang for bang. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a very hyped game. You have
Mm-hmm.
two of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League
Yep.
playing it out.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was Baltimore won 35-34.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you can blame it on the coach. You can, there's lots of things that you can say as far as both teams played a hell of a game. And I said it like I heard plenty of people say it on ESPN. This game is always going to come down to the last two possessions.
Yeah.
The last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. That's what it's going to come down to. Who gets the ball last is more
Right.
likely who's going to win.
Yeah. No, for
So
sure.
that
I
being
mean, yeah, this game was about as good as it got. Definitely a playoff type atmosphere kind of game. And yeah, this game did not disappoint. It was a shootout from the get-go.
yes, sir. And now, now we can get started for today's games. All right. So here, starting in about less than 10 minutes, we have
Hmm.
the Giants playing the Carolina Panthers in Germany.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff going around. Like, I mean, these are probably two of the worst teams in the NFL right now, being the Giants and the Panthers. And everybody who's a NFL fan on social media is like, "Oh my God, what did Germany to do? What did Germany do to deserve this kind of game?" Germany knows what they did. They know what they did.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's the same thing. It's like this. Like they make these schedules.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Months and months in
Yeah,
advance.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
and when they have to break down the schedule, you have to have a team that can get to those places. And I mean, I think everybody thought, oh man, okay, again, Bryce Young, his second year in the league, the team's going to be better. Daniel Jones just got paid. You know,
Yeah.
they got another wide receiver. Like it could be exciting.
Hmm.
Now, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, it would not surprise me to see this game be 13-9.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it wouldn't surprise
I,
me
I,
either.
I mean, for me personally, I'm taking the over on 20 points. That is
Hmm.
the only thing I'm betting on this game, that it will go over 20 points.
Hey,
And,
smart
and
man.
that's my safe bet. I'm not even taking a spicy bet. I won't even go 25.
Yeah. No, smart man. Like I wouldn't even bet on who's gonna win this game or and just bet alone on the spread because I mean this is just gonna be uh a possible snooze fest of what we're gonna be witnessing. I know they make the games months in advance and everything like that, and it's definitely fun to have football on in the early morning and especially in a place like Germany of all places too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I love it when you get to wake up, drink some coffee, and, oh, shit, football's on. Football's on.
And then crack a cold one open. It's 7:30 in the morning. Fucking football's on. You think I care?
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, but no, there's definitely going to be some good games on right now, or later in the day, I should say, because we got the Giants Panthers on right now, from Munich, Germany.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
that should easily be a good one. But what are some other games that you could really see being the same way that the Bengals and Ravens game was?
Bills versus the Colts is a game
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to see. And I know this sounds crazy, but personally, I think the Chargers versus the Titans is going to be a good game today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Will Levis is coming back after a shoulder injury sidelined him for about 3 games, I believe.
Yes.
So let's see what the Mayonnaise Marauder can do this week against the Chargers. I mean, damn.
Oh, so just letting you know, I sent the spicy parlay. I forgot to. That's what I was just doing, sending the parlay over.
No worries.
So I just sent that over to you. The next game up on the schedule is going to be boom. Oh, New England going into Chicago.
Yeah,
There.
that yeah, my wife was born and raised a Bears fan, but because of Tom Brady, she also is a fan of the Patriots as well. She's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, but I know I got the Bears hat on, but I mean, I truly think that the Patriots could get the upset today. The Bears have been on a bit of a slump recently, and I don't know. I think New England it could sweep in and be ripe for the picking as well.
Okay, so I will say their defenses are very even.
Yeah,
New England's offense and the Bears' offense are not. The
no,
Bears have much more talent,
hmm
and they have a lot more to work with
yeah,
versus New England. New England, look at the quarterback. Okay,
hmm
can you name more than 2 receivers on the New England Patriots?
no. I mean, you got guys like I want to say Polk, Hunter Henry, and that's
He's a tight
about.
end. He's a tight
Yep,
end. He
he is a
doesn't
tight end.
count as a receiver. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I play Madden on a regular basis, and I only know I think 2 or 3 of their wide receivers,
Yeah.
and that's because I play Madden on a regular basis.
Yep.
But to know the average fan has no clue who these guys are because they. I'm not saying they can't make an impact. I'm saying they don't make an impact.
Yeah.
Now again, the quarterback has to throw them the ball for them to make an impact. So it's kind of like, but no, I think the Bears win, and I think the Bears, put up probably 20 to 25 points somewhere
Mm,
in that area, and I think New England just might score a touchdown and maybe a couple field goals. Like I don't see it being like either of these teams scoring over 28 points.
yeah.
The defenses are good. Both of
Yeah.
these teams have good defenses, but knowing Caleb Williams has Keenan Allen, Moore, he's got Swift, he's got
Mhm.
Komet. Like,
Yep.
I mean, he's got plenty of guys there. Romeo Dunze.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of guys there that he can throw the ball to. The
Yeah.
problem is he's got to throw the ball.
Yeah, he does. No, I completely agree. The Bears do have more offensive talent on the team compared when you compare it to the New England Patriots. But the thing is, they are being so underutilized right now because Matt Eberflus cannot get his fucking head out of his ass.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you have that much talent, bro, I just like I feel like I could go coach the Bears offense and
Hmm.
put a game plan together where we're gonna score at least 21 points every single game.
Absolutely. I mean, if you even look at the game between the Bears and the Cardinals last week, you could easily see DJ Moore just walk off the sideline while the play was still going on, and it was like, yeah, I'd have that kind of level of frustration as well if that the kind of talent that
Not
the Bears have is
not
being
in the first
so
quarter. Not in the first quarter, you wouldn't.
after the amount
Yeah,
of
come on,
games that
bro.
have been
You
played.
you you have Coop.
Dude, we're
You
nearly
have
halfway through the season. And
okay.
this offense is being so underused.
Absolutely. But again, the whole thing is like I can be pissed off at the end of the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. If you're doing that shit in the first quarter, it is you.
Dude, we're 8 games in.
No,
we're 8 games in.
I understand that, but again, okay, so imagine you got pissed off at your higher up, and you just walked off from where you're supposed to be stationed at, and you just walk off and go home. Or you just walk off. You know what? I'm just gonna walk over here and stand over here where I know I'm not supposed to be, even though I'm supposed to be over here. I'm just gonna walk over there. You would get in trouble, correct? Your ass would be on fire. So that's what I'm saying. His ass should be on fire for that shit. Okay,
it should, but
it is
I mean,
him problem. It's a him problem in the first quarter. Like again, this is a new game. This is not yet last week. This ain't 3 weeks ago. This ain't 5 weeks ago. Like the whole thing is having that mentality where you're constantly carrying over. That is not healthy. That's not healthy mentally. It's not healthy.
I agree.
So for me, it's just like, if you're willing to give up in the first quarter and just walk off the field, you're not trying to block, you're not trying to run, like, then ask for a trade. Tell them you don't want to be there then.
But I mean,
play your ass off while you're there.
True, but I mean, look, we're seeing the literal same thing from Caleb Williams every single game. He drops back to pass, and then all of a sudden he's got to scramble back 10, 15 yards just to launch the damn thing down the field, hoping that somebody's going to be down there to catch it.
So then, if I was that wide receiver, I would walk up to the offensive line and be like, bro, I need you to block.
Yeah.
Come on, fellas. Come on, big fellas. my whole thing is, he wouldn't be running around for his life. He wouldn't be scrambling. He wouldn't have to sit here and throw bombs down the goddamn field if his offensive line would block for fucking 3 seconds.
Yeah,
I've watched it multiple times this year. 3-step drop. He's going to throw. He's in rhythm. I mean, 1, 2, 3, throw. And he's going like this. And he's already got a guy in his face slapping his fucking arm, knocking the ball down and shit. Like, I don't get me wrong. When he fucks up, he throws an interception, he throws a bad pass, he throws it short, he throws it long, he throws it too far outside. That is on him, 100%. But if he can't get the ball out of his goddamn hands, that's not on him. It's not on him. All right, any quarterback, I don't give a fuck. You do a 3-step drop back, you do a 5-step drop back. If you can't get to your final set to throw that ball, it's the offensive line. 100% it's the offensive line. So then what you have to do is you put tight ends on the end. Tight ends, chip. You don't fucking fly off the line. You hit that motherfucker, then you go run your route. You know what I mean? It's things like that you do to set your team up for success. And yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I hope they get it together. This week is a good week to get a bounce back win because you're going against New England. New England is not going to put up points in bunches, so you have a chance to win this game, and you have a chance to win it early. Because if they put up more than 14 points in the first half, they can just run the ball with Swift, and then throw it downfield when they stack the box. And Caleb Williams will have a great day.
Yeah, but he will. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But I'm taking Caleb Williams for 150 passing yards today.
Assuming that his offensive line can actually block somebody.
Yeah, well, again, playing the team that they're playing, this is New England. Their defense is good in the middle and on the back end. Yeah, their front four does not scare me whatsoever. I feel like they Swift should have a good day. Swift should rush for at least 60, 70 yards today.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully Swift does have himself a good day today.
But going back to the first game, I'm going to take the Giants. I'm taking the Giants to win, right? Yeah. Between New England and Chicago, I'm taking Chicago to win. All right. Next game up, we have Buffalo going into Indy.
Yeah, that'll be, like you said, a definite shootout.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it tough because the problem is when Indy goes down early, it's scary. Now, having Flacco in there, having a proven guy who can go in there, who can lead, who can, throw the ball.
Yeah.
It definitely helps. But Buffalo's defense has cranked it up. That is the one thing that I will eat shit about, and I have no problem eating shit about. I was wrong. I thought the defense was going down. I thought Josh Allen was going to have a really tough year because his defense, he was going to have to continuously score a shit ton of points all season.
Yeah.
Now, for the most part, his defense has held him up for most of his games. Unfortunately, not against the Ravens, but still, the majority of their games this year, the defense has stood up and did their job. So Josh Allen has won a bunch of games this year, and he's looking really good this year.
He is. On top of that, the addition of Amari Cooper is really helping out the receiving core right now.
But I'm going to say this, like, as good as Joe Flacco can look and has looked over the last couple of years, this ain't a game that he wins. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills as well. I mean, look, Flacco.
I will say this. I'll say this, right?
Yeah.
If Taylor has more than 100 all scrimmage yards, they might win.
Yeah.
They might win.
They definitely could win.
If you don't run a ball against this Bills defense, you're not going to win. You're not, because you have to have time of possession against this team, and you have to be able to run the ball. And if you can't run the ball against the Bills, they're going to pick you. They're going to pick you. And
absolutely.
And I love Flacco to death, but he's thrown interceptions in his career.
Yeah. Interceptions are definitely something you can't prevent, but at the same time, the Bills have an awesome defense right now, and look, as good as Flacco has been looking this year, and even when you compare it to last year, yeah, I think the Bills are just going to be too overwhelming for the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't think it's not gonna be non-competitive. I think it's gonna be competitive, especially when it gets to the fourth quarter. I feel like if it's within 7 points in the fourth quarter, then you might see some fireworks back and forth.
Yeah,
but I just have a feeling by the third quarter the Bills are going to be up 2 scores. Now, whether that's 10 points or 15 points, you know what I mean? It all depends. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of the games that I'm looking forward to watching today. Obviously, I'm not watching the Ravens game today because it happened Thursday. So I'm just watching every game today.
Oh yeah. So I know that this team is undefeated, and we're going to get into the next topic about why they're undefeated. But I think this game between the Broncos and Chiefs could possibly be a good one. I know Bo Nix is a rookie, but they got Sean Payton. Patrick Surtain is leading the Broncos defense, so who knows?
Do we need to take a commercial break anytime?
We could discuss the rest, and then we could take our first commercial break.
Okay. All right. No, I seen it. We're at 37 minutes. That's why I know you around the time mark that it's commercial time. But
right.
All right. So Denver playing Kansas City, and I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like after getting the beat down from the Ravens last week, I really feel like that defense has something to say.
Yeah.
Now, and I know I sound like everybody else will say this. Okay, Travis Kelce is the difference maker. Okay, playing against this defense. Okay, because Surtain isn't going to guard him.
No,
the whole game. All right,
no, for sure.
So understanding that, like, D-Hop might not have another 100-yard game in this game. I don't think he will. But Kelce is the big mismatch for this defense because their linebackers are quick side to side, but they're not great at covering zones.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you go in zone defense over the middle with Travis Kelce, he's going to find the soft spot. So
yeah, absolutely.
I 110% think that Travis Kelce can either win or lose this game for them.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
But yeah, no, the defense is going to show up. Yeah, dude, I still think this is going to be a really close game. I do. I think it's going to be like 23-21.
Yeah, I could easily see that.
Yeah, it's a divisional matchup. And if you watch all these divisional matchups happen, not many of them are landslides. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you see this person twice a year, every year. You know what I mean? You get all their tape. You watch all of their tape. This is a division rival. These are some of the biggest games that you have all season. Because again, you like legitimately, you can lose pretty much every fucking game of the year, but if you win every divisional game, you're going to the playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
If no one in your division beats you, you're going to the playoffs. It doesn't matter if every other team beats you. If you win your division, that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I mean,
games.
Take the Falcons for example. They got the divisional wins over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that I really thought another team that I really thought it was going to come down against the Falcons for the NFC South, but because the Falcons got their divisional wins over the Bucks, Falcons going to the playoffs, and it's not even close.
Yeah, 100%.
Or they're going to the playoffs representing the NFC South.
Yeah. But I'm taking Kansas City if that wasn't already known. And like I said, I think it's going to be a really good competitive game, but I think Kansas City gets they get the last possession of the game, drive down the field, touchdown to Kelsey in the back end of the corner, the back end zone. Boom, they win it again. Next up, okay, you want to
but yes, so should be a lot of good games on right now. But first off, we're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right. If you ever are in the mood for a tattoo, be sure to check out Boulevard Tattoo Company and be sure to ask for Jimbo. He will hook you up.
Oh, yeah. That looks like some badass work, too. I'm like,
all right.
You want a tattoo? All right. Yeah. So on with the schedule. Next up, we have Atlanta Falcons going into New Orleans. Oh man, like
I love
Alvin Kamara. I love Alvin Kamara, and I wish to God that somebody would have went and got him away from this team somehow.
Yeah,
I wish that somebody would have gotten him. I mean, Jesus, it's horrible. Why? Like he is the Saints, brother.
Yeah. Especially with the downslide that the Saints have bid on since starting the season 2-0.
But I will say this: I'm not going to take anything away from Kirk Cousins, man. He's been doing his thing. Drake London, Mooney, Pitt, and I will give Pitt his flowers. Pitt has been the most consistent throughout this year that I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
and I'm very happy for that. It's good to see. But yeah, I'm taking Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta, and it's not going to be close.
I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Atlanta as well, and it's definitely not even going to be close.
I'm looking at like 34 to like 21, and
I could.
That 21, that last touchdown came in the fourth quarter.
Jesus, I could easily see the score being that as well. The way the Falcons are playing right now, I mean. Seeing how Kirk Cousins is just playing, especially with the type of players that are on the Falcons. I mean, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, just the Falcons are going to be too much for the Saints.
Yeah, and don't get it twisted. Now, I would love for the Saints defense to make me eat my words, but you just lost Marshawn Lattimore.
On top of that, they don't have Michael Thomas.
I'm talking about defense.
Oh, okay.
Stop Atlanta. Losing your number one cornerback in a trade. I mean, I'm just saying, like, So the a step back.
Yeah,
the offense has not been there. Like I said, I mean, they could make it competitive, but regardless, I got Atlanta winning.
Yeah, I'm still taking Atlanta regardless.
Yep, give me Kirk Cousins for 200 yards, a touchdown, and I'm taking Drake London for 4 catches and 40 yards.
Yeah, and hell, I mean, even Atlanta has really changed Kirk Cousins, but hey, there's no changing his playing style because it's working for Atlanta as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Next up, we have San Francisco going into Tampa Bay. This is McCaffrey's first game of the season.
Yeah.
So here's my first question I'm going to ask you. Can McCaffrey get to 1,000 all-purpose yards?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's been out for quite some time, and this is his, you said, first game of the season.
Yep.
He's got some making up to do, but right now, he does because the Niners are down quite a few weapons right now, and yeah. So ultimately, the load or McCaffrey, figuratively and literally speaking, is going to have to carry the load.
Now, again, I'm not saying rushing yards. I'm not saying 1,000 rushing yards. I'm saying 1,000 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
I think he could still break it. I think he could still break it.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Because I know, especially like this game, he's going to get his feet wet. I'd look for him to have right between 80 to 100 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week, I feel like that's when it's going to be full speed, time to go, and it's going to be crazy. Because I think one of these next 2 or 3 games, he's going to put up over 200 yards. He's going to have at least 2 touchdowns, and it's going to be like, pop, McCaffrey's back, bitch.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is definitely going to be a oh god. Like I know it's his first game back, but I don't think he's going to really be doing much in this first game, but once he starts to find a rhythm in the game in the next few games, yeah, he'll definitely be back on what he used to be on.
All right. So as far as Tampa Bay goes, Baker Mayfield is showing me that dude, he's a true gamer. He is fucking super talented. I am I'm happy that we didn't go after him, but I'm kind of mad that we didn't either.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I really wanted him. I really wanted us to pick up Baker Mayfield. Now this was a couple years ago because Lamar Jackson was getting injured at the end of the year, and I'm thinking, well, he doesn't play an exact replica of Lamar. He's nothing like that, but they can play a similar style. You could put Baker Mayfield in our offense and he could run it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why, and it's just like to see him lose his 2 best fucking targets and still be uber competitive.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it, man. Damn it, man. And you know what? I'm telling you, this game is going to be more competitive than you think. Remember this. The Cardinals beat the 49ers this year.
Yeah, they did. I think they got a comeback win over the Niners.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield ain't going to lay down. He's not going to lay down against this team. So I got San Francisco winning by a field goal. I think it's going to be like 30-27.
I could see that. The fact, like you said, the fact that Baker Mayfield is still playing like a dog, despite the fact that both Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are down, but he's got Cade Otton and other weapons that he can utilize. He's got Bucky Irving. They really need to start using Sean Tucker more, especially when they drop the 50 piece on New Orleans.
I was waiting for you to say that old Giants wide receiver's name.
Oh, Sterling Shepard. That's right. So,
bro, and listen, man. I think that guy was one of the most underrated wide receivers you guys had.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like he could have been like Victor Cruz if he only had somebody to throw him the ball consistently.
Yeah, well, hey, he's got somebody that can throw him the ball consistently. So,
and look at the yards he's been putting up.
Yeah, but yeah, this is definitely with the loss of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. This is definitely a step back year for the Bucs. But once those two come back, yeah, I'm definitely expecting fireworks and looking forward to seeing what the Bucs can do. But ultimately, the Niners are taking the win.
So I'll make this clear. If Godwin didn't get hurt against if they both didn't get hurt playing us, okay, and they were both healthy for this game, I would take Tampa Bay in this game.
Absolutely.
Because defense and those guys, and Bucky Irving and Rashad White, I would be taking Tampa Bay.
Oh,
but
easily.
Because they don't have a healthy offense,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking San Francisco because
Same.
I just have a feeling that San Francisco's offense is going to be that much better, especially having McCaffrey out there, whether he plays 10 snaps or 20 snaps. Having him out there makes that team all the more better.
Absolutely.
So, taking San Francisco here.
Yep, I'm going to take San Francisco as well.
This is the game that is going to be my local game, so I'm actually going to watch 90% of this game. Pittsburgh at Washington.
Ooh, wow. That's
This is going to be a fucking Royal Rumble. When I tell you that you have two good defenses, okay? Now obviously Pittsburgh's defense is better, okay? We know that.
Yeah.
But again, you have two teams that are very good on both sides of the ball. All right. Washington, their offense is lightning in a bottle. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And all year long, they've been slowly just cracking that bottle and letting it go. Cracking that bottle and letting it go.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, there's going to be some fireworks. Okay. It might not happen early, but I think between late second quarter to the third quarter, Washington's going to start putting up points.
Yeah.
And as good as Russell Wilson has looked in some of these games, I don't think he's going to look great in this game. No. I got him I got him covering 150 passing yards.
Yeah.
Okay. I got him throwing for 1 touchdown. All right. But I think this game is going to be like 28 to like 17.
I can see that.
It's going to be I think a 2-score lead. Like I don't think the Washington gets to 30 points. I think the Steelers defense is a little too good for that.
Yeah.
But I do think they put up at least 20 plus points on their defense, and I'm taking the Commanders for the win.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the Redskins for the win as well. I mean, Jaden Daniels has been playing lights out football, though. He's definitely running away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. On top of that, the Redskins also have Austin Eckler, Scary Terry, Brian Robinson. I mean, I think their offense is going to be
Eckler.
Yeah.
To me, I've been betting on Eckler every week, and Eckler gets his yards and then some. Like the betting line is for usually him to get around 20-some to like maybe 30-some yards a game, and he's rushing it.
Yeah,
especially with Robinson going out and not playing, and this guy stepping up and he's playing his ass off. And it's like, bro, did you not realize just last year with the Chargers he was putting up numbers?
He was.
Somebody just forget this guy was good.
Yeah, apparently so. The Chargers really, the Chargers really dropped the ball letting Austin Eckler go, because right now he's seriously stepping up, and he's been one of the reasons why Washington's offense is just so explosive.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, I will take him for 50 yards all day. You can do it all purpose or rushing. Give me 50 yards, especially with Robinson not playing. I'm taking him. I'm taking that is easy money right there.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So, again, Russell Wilson for 150 passing yards, 1 touchdown. I'm taking Jaden Daniels 175 passing yards and a touchdown. Right, I'm taking Scary Terry for at least 3 catches and 40 yards.
Absolutely, yeah. That's like a real safe bet right there.
Yep, give me Washington. They're gonna kill him.
Oh yeah, I'm taking Washington as well. Yeah, same.
No, because fuck Pitt. I need Pittsburgh to lose a couple. So when we play them and we beat them, we are clearly the definitive, divisional champs.
Absolutely.
Like I said at the beginning of the year, that the Bengals defense is going to be the reason why they're not going to be a true playoff team. I've been proven right because the Bengals defense can't stop a nosebleed. And seriously, I mean, think about that. If they make 2 stops against us, they win that game.
Yeah, easily.
Okay. Same thing with the first time. 2 stops. If they'd have made two more stops. Boom. They'd have had the game won, no problem. And a bunch of other games where they didn't lose like that. And it's just one of those things, man. And then the Browns, I mean, I've been saying Deshaun Watson is not a good quarterback. He is literally what they have pretended Lamar is.
Yeah.
He can't throw. Oh, he makes bad decisions. Oh, he can't win in the postseason. Everything that, they said about Lamar Jackson is true about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
and
basically.
That's what baffles me. And it's just like, you know what? Whatever, bro. Go back to the hole.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Deshaun Watson has been in Cleveland for 3 years now, and he's played a total of 18 games. And this dude really got a fully guaranteed contract. And I mean, there's a lot of things I listen to on ESPN radio that seem asinine, but one of the things that they got right was the fact that Deshaun Watson really ruined the quarterback market because of the contract that he got.
Yeah. On to the next one is Minnesota going into Jacksonville. This might be the biggest spread of the week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really bad. Mac Jones is the starting quarterback. If that remains true, yes, that is super scary. And Minnesota is gonna put up like fucking 50 points, bro.
Oh,
They're gonna put up like 50 points because, like, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville's defense might stop them once or twice in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. But by the third quarter, they're gonna be so tired from being out on the field. Okay, 80% of that damn game, right? That there's no way that Jacksonville is going to be able to keep up. Okay.
Yeah. No way in hell.
Jones is not that guy. He's proven it time and time again.
Yep.
But you know what? I'll say this though. This is the best offense he's ever played with.
Yeah. He's definitely got some weapons.
And I'll say that even at when he was with Alabama, I'm telling you, this is the most talent he's played with. So he's got an opportunity to show us something, but I'm betting against him, and I'm saying he won't. I'm saying that it's going to be a lot to a little. I think this could be a 20 to 30 point spread.
Yeah, no, easily. I mean, right now, the way that Sam Darnold has been playing with the Minnesota Vikings, we're seeing like this dude's real potential because we really thought that he was a bust because he was on the Jets and basically set up for failure. But now that he's actually got some weapons, he's got a head coach. We're seeing what this dude has been capable of for so long, and like you said, it's going to be a lot to a little in this game, and Minnesota is just going to be way too overpowering.
Yeah, so I mean, you take Sam Darnold for 200 yards, two passing touchdowns. Yeah, I'm taking Jefferson for 4 catches and at least 50 yards. Addison 2 catches, at least 2 catches. I mean, you can take the 25 yards if you want. I mean, it's for me, it's a spicy thing, but you know what I mean? Like, it's really up to you. But yeah, I'm taking, you know, I'll go take the over. Take the over.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. What is the over? The over is 40. It's 43.5 points. Take the over. Take the over because 110% that you know Jacksonville is. I mean, fucking the Vikings are going to put up 30 points.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Okay, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I think that Jacksonville will kick at least 3 field goals. So that's 9 points right there. You're sitting awfully close to 40 points. I took over 40 points on this game. So, but yeah, Minnesota wins this. No, it shouldn't be any issues here. Aaron Jones. That's who I forgot to say. Aaron Jones. take him for 80 all-purpose yards. He's going to get at least 80 all-purpose yards. He's going to get at least a couple catches, and he's going to get a bunch of rushing yards because I'm telling you, the third and the fourth quarter will be owned by Mr. Jones if he doesn't break one off early.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree. This is definitely a game that Minnesota is just going to blow the doors off on Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. All right. On to the next one. We have Tennessee going in to LA to play the Chargers. All right. So I think this is going to be a competitive game all the way up until like around the end of the third quarter. And then I think the Chargers kind of pull away. But by no means is this going to be a high-scoring game.
No.
All right. So the current it's 39, right? It's 39. Now I'm not comfortable at 39. Okay. so I took the under 50, right? So I took under 50 points for this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the Chargers they don't play a very high powered offense. They play a very low. It's like a West Coast power run scheme, right?
Yeah.
So run the ball. They're just going to continue to run the ball. Herbert will take a couple shots, but most of he's going to throw 5-10 yards down the field. It's like a little dink and dunk run, and then see if you can catch him slipping. But
yeah.
So I mean, I don't think they're putting up 40 fucking points. You know what I mean?
No.
And with the Chargers defense, they have an opportunity where they could shut Tennessee out.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me.
So for this game, I am taking Herbert for 1 touchdown and 150 passing yards. I'm taking J.K. Dobbins for 50 rushing yards. And then I'm taking the Chargers to win.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers to win as well. Not to mention the fact that the Chargers defense is just going to be too overwhelming, especially with Joey Bosa leading the way, and not to mention Khalil Mack leading the way as well. So,
and don't forget the back end, Mr. Derwin James.
Yep, facts.
And was Sante Samuels.
Oh, yeah, Sante Samuel Jr. out there stunting like his daddy. Stunting like his daddy, to quote Lil Wayne.
That's my fantasy defense, brother.
Woo.
That's my fantasy defense. and it's funny because I mean, look, I had people be like, "Why would you pick them in defense, man? They're not going to be a good." Like, what? Do you not know their roster? And it's
have you seen that defense?
And that's why I'm saying, like, brother, let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. Another easy game.
Absolutely.
All right. Up next, what could have been a really good game, what could have been a possible shootout, has now been. Look. Cooper Rush could come in here and he could do really well, like he did. Was it last year or the year before?
I believe the year before.
That's what I thought. So, I mean, he might make this a little bit competitive, but I don't think so. I think Saquon Barkley is completely the difference maker in this. I honestly just don't think Dallas's defense can stop him.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either.
I'm taking Saquon for 100 all-purpose yards. I'm taking him for a touchdown. Give me the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I completely agree. On top of that, the Eagles just have more offensive weapons to work with, and like you said, Saquon is easily going to be the difference maker. And yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to get the win over the Cowboys. And good on you, Jerry Jones, for going all in this year.
I mean, bro, listen, let's be real, man. We've been hearing him say this shit since the early 2000s. Okay, we're old enough to know this. I can remember Jerry Jones being on the NFL Network talking about, we're going to go all in. You know, we're like especially after they found Tony Romo on their roster. Like, oh, look, we got this guy. How many years did he go all in? and like he didn't help the team. He hurt the team multiple times, bringing fucking cancerous players in there.
Yeah. I mean, look, he nearly found something with Tony Romo, but this was the same dude that muffed a field goal against the freaking Seahawks. Like, dude, you really put your faith in that guy?
Yep, it's one of them things, man, and it's just like another year goes by, and the Cowboys ain't gonna win it.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
better luck next year, bud. Now, a very interesting game. You have the New York Jets going into Arizona.
Hmm.
I think after this game, the it's not going to quiet down immediately, but over the next few weeks, we're going to hear less and less about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets because I think the Cardinals are going to beat them.
I think so too.
I think it's going to be a very back and forth competitive game, but I think Arizona gets the ball last. They go down the field, kick a field goal, and they win it.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. I see it being fucking like 21-24.
Yeah, I could easily see something like that as well. I mean, look, the Jets may have Devontae Adams, but Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals has just been amazing.
James Conner,
Yes.
okay, for the Cardinals has been amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyler Murray is playing some of the best football I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Since coming to the league this year. He has
Yeah.
played the most consistent I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
I bet on him in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. I said that he was going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. I said that they could possibly make the playoffs. Just hear me out, and a lot of people laughed, and you were on the other show with me, and some people were like, oh, you're crazy. The group chat, the chat was telling me that I sounded crazy. I didn't know what I was talking about, and I know football. And I'm like, this team is a lot better than people think. Like, you just look at them on paper and you're like, not really. But when you sit here and I watch the preseason games, I watch some of their film, and watching these guys execute, watching the coaches work on the little detail, like seeing these little things is like, oh, this team's gonna be good. This team's really gonna be good, and they have. So I think the Jets lose here. Now, don't get me wrong, the Jets have to win this game. They have to win this game. Like they essentially cannot lose the next 5 weeks. If they lose in the next 5 weeks, their season is done. Because I know over the next 8 weeks they're going to lose another one.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, this game really could decide where they're going to be. Even if they, even if they lose this game, that could be their season right there.
Yeah, no, because they're not winning the division. They're not winning the division.
Oh hell no! The division is going to Buffalo. It's not even close.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, the division is locked. Okay. The only thing you can hope for is to somehow make a wild card spot, and I just don't see that happening. I
don't see that happening either. I mean, look, as good as the Jets are, I think the Cardinals are just going to be that much better. And not to mention, the Cardinals have a freaking dark horse at tight end being George Kittle 2.0, a.k.a. Trey McBride. This dude is something else.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's the whole thing. That's literally, you seen him last year.
You've
seen what he did last year. And he got pushed under because of another tight end. Okay, so it's like, Sam Laporta last year, he everybody was hooting and hollering about him. Cole Kmet did great last year. This year, you know what I mean? New quarterback, not really, anywhere to be found so far, for real.
No, that's true.
Nonetheless, okay, I will say this, him, Brock Bowers. I mean, Mark Andrews is getting into stride now. Kelsey is doing good. So it's like, it's good to see tight ends coming back. But yes, he's definitely in the top echelon of tight ends.
Absolutely.
And then we got, for Sunday Night Football, we got Detroit going into Houston to play the Texans.
Oof. I mean, look, as good as the Texans are, Lions are just that much better, and despite having one loss, they clearly are the best team in the NFL right now. It's not even close.
I mean, so this game is going to come down to the last two possessions.
Hmm.
That's this game's going to come down to the last two possessions. Detroit is not going to run away with this game. Okay, first off, the Texans defense, they ain't slouches.
Yeah.
Okay, and then two, they can put points up. All right,
Yeah.
they've had a couple, slumpy games, but they've also had a couple really good games. He's got some weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's got Mixon. Mixon has been doing his thing.
True.
Right. So 100%, I think this is going to be somewhat competitive until you get to those last few possessions,
Yeah.
and then that's going to be the difference maker. And now, like you said, for me, I don't think the spread goes over 2 scores. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be 42 to fucking 14. I'm just sorry. I don't see that happening. Stroud is too big of a competitor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tank Dell and fucking what's his name? The tight end Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, you got Mixon, you got Schultz, you got Tank Dell. I'm so mad I can't remember the other wide receiver's name off the top of my head. But
Nico, or no, I'm pretty
no,
sure
he's
him and
injured.
Stephon Diggs are out.
No, yep. I was gonna say both of those are injured.
Okay.
No, there's the other guy. I mean, he's made some really good catches and stuff. Robert Woods.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's his name. All right. So again, I'm taking Detroit. Like I know I'm talking about Texans, right? But again, I'm taking Detroit. I'm thinking this is gonna be like possibly like 31-28, somewhere in that realm.
Yeah,
I
I could see that.
they don't win huge, but they win, like I said, those last two possessions.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Ultimately, I'm taking Detroit as well. Like I said, as good as the Texans are right now, the Lions are just that much better. They have just too many weapons on offense, and they look like a real complete team right now.
Mm. All right, and then the last game of the week, we have Monday Night Football, Miami going in to play the LA Rams.
Yes, sir. Well, that's a easy no-brainer. I'm taking the Rams. But I mean, hey, if Tua does figure something out, then good for him.
Yeah, no, I mean, with the couple of injuries that's happened on Miami's defense, with Tua going through his own stuff, and I don't know, it just seems like this team's not clicking 100%. It could be a really competitive game, and I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I think the Rams are gonna win this game 100% because I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like 60% on the Rams.
Yeah.
But I know just as well as you know, if Tua starts slinging that ball down the field and
Hmm.
Tyree gets over 100 yards and Weddle gets over 80 yards and
Yeah.
both of them have a touchdown, and then you got Sean, what's his name? Achante?
uh,
Achante?
yeah, yeah, something like that. Devon Ashane or something like that.
Okay. So what I mean? He gets a touchdown and he's got 60, 70 all-purpose yards. Like they can win.
Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again where Tua has slung that rock around and they have Swiss cheese the shit out of defenses.
Yeah.
Okay. The Rams defense they've been okay. But losing Tre'Davious White and trading him to us,
Hmm.
now you just lost one of your starters. So I'm iffy about. But I will say this: Stafford with that offense, having Puka Nacua, having Cooper Cup, having
Yeah.
Pinkton, having Williams, like he's got studs everywhere around him.
Oh yeah.
So I'm taking the Rams. I think it's going to be like 27-28.
Yeah.
Like
Something like
it's
that.
going to be like a 1-2, no more than 3-point game. Like I think it's going to be super close.
Hmm.
Uh, But like I mean, both of these offenses have an opportunity where they could go out and they could just run the ball. It would just run the score up.
Yeah, easily.
So I'm super excited. But those are the games. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Next subject. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why do the refs control and have so much power in these fucking games and essentially take the games away from these kids?
Yeah, just
And
your guess is as good as mine, honestly. I mean, there have been so many missed calls that the refs have obviously not called, and on top of that, like I've been saying all year now, the refs need to be held accountable the same way players are held accountable for some of the stuff that they do and say.
yes, yes. I mean, it's just like I'll keep saying this, and I've said it a bunch of times. Just like when do you take the human error out of reffing?
Mhm.
Like all the cameras you got out there on the field, I want to see something changed for the betterment of it.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is if you're literally just calling on the guys on the field, like I'm sorry, at some point it just seems like cheating.
Yeah,
It just
it
seems like
it really
cheating.
does. I mean, look, a perfect example, and this could be very well the deciding factor that really um makes the NFL decide, hey, we don't need refs anymore. It was the Monday night game between the Vikings and Rams, and the Rams got a safety, but they got a face mask, and Byron Young nearly killed a dude on national television. But the refs want to go ahead and say, oh, well, you know what? We didn't have a good look at it. The fuck you mean you didn't have a good look at it? You had one dude literally standing and watching it on unfold, but you want to say you didn't have a good look at it when Sam Darnold was nearly going to be looking at you if Byron Young held onto his face mask any longer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree with you on that. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different games. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can say the last call on the play from the Bengals Ravens game. I
Yep.
mean, you could talk about what happened in the first quarter
Mm-hmm.
with Ted Karras doing face masks and holding and not getting called for it,
Yep.
and it's just like it's a long laundry list when
Yeah.
instead you have sports announcers on TV saying, "Oh, look, that was a penalty right there. Hey, look,
Yeah.
you missed that penalty right there." You know what I mean? But then you threw the flag on the most egregious bullshit ass fucking one that you could,
Yeah.
and it just seems ticky tacky. I
Mm-hmm.
hate it. Fuck the refs, bro. You
Yeah.
should get fined just like the players because of that bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Like, I have not even seen officiating this bad since the Mary call back in 2012 between the Packers and Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole thing is, and it's not just NFL; it's
Mm-hmm.
college too. College
Yeah.
football, like referees have been fucking
Mm-hmm.
the games up this year,
Yeah.
and I just, for me personally, I hate that the fact that they can take games away from young college kids. I
Mm-hmm.
hate the fact that they can completely ruin an NFL game with one or two penalties.
Yeah. No, I
So
agree.
I don't know. Take the human error out of it. Keep one or two guys on the field. Put them in the booth.
Yeah.
Let's get the shit over with. Okay.
Yeah, let's just get it over with. I couldn't agree more.
Okay. Next topic. Okay. With Derrick Henry now having over 10 touchdowns and over a
Mhm.
thousand rushing yards, and yet another season with the
Mhm.
numbers he has put up, with the things he has done, every level. Okay. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, that is a dicey subject right there, but yeah, it is rigged. There's no doubt behind that. Derrick Henry. Uh, Ultimately, I would say yeah. He's on his what, seventh season for having 10 consecutive touchdown seasons, and he's up there with the likes of a lot of good running backs. So I would say at the when he decides to call it a career, yeah, he could very well be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, so my argument is that he is already a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He could retire after this year. Now he might not be a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
but then very well could be because
Yeah.
look look at Calvin Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm just saying, okay, Derrick Henry is on pace to where he could hit 2,000 yards.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
now here's also like they have the possibility is I'm not saying this is our year. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying he's on a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah.
Okay, now like I said, there's some things we need to work on. The Ravens defense definitely needs to get better,
Yeah.
but knowing that if the Ravens defense get better, that offense gets better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and again, you're talking about even more touchdowns. Like
Mm-hmm.
he could possibly take the touchdown record if he has a couple more 2 touchdown games and he continues scoring a touchdown every game. So,
Yeah.
like there's multiple facets to this, but understand he has been the most dominant running back in the NFL
Yeah.
for almost a decade now.
Yeah. And most of that was spent on being on the Titans as well.
And exactly, and for me, that does nothing but elevate him even more because
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing is you weren't playing with a star cornerback, you didn't
Mm-hmm.
have star wide receivers. You
No.
know what I mean? Like the offensive line you ran behind was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is like I'm not going to say you wasted your career. No, it just made it that much better that you took a shitty team and you were the offense.
Yeah,
That's
he was
for
the
me.
offense, and the only thing that the Titans really had that made them good was Mike Vrabel as the head coach. I mean, come on, like you could easily drop somebody else that
He was
you
a
could
good
easily
coach.
drop another quarterback in under center instead of Ryan Tannehill, and the Titans would still be a playoff caliber team.
I don't know about playoff caliber, but they would have always been a good team under variable. But
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. He wasn't that great coach that was needed.
yeah,
Very well, he's a good coach that if you gave him a great team and great coordinators, oh
mm-hmm,
yeah, he'll win the Super Bowl,
yeah,
110%. But if you give him a mediocre ass team with some decent coordinators, he's going to be competitive.
oh, absolutely. I
Like
mean, right now,
he's not a bad coach. He was never a bad coach. But the
no,
whole thing is, he's not that coach that's going to take everybody to the next level.
yeah. I mean, right now we're seeing Dan Campbell in Detroit is basically what we could have seen with Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. Like if they had the right pieces, the right coordinators, and everything. I mean, all they had to do was build around Derrick Henry, and they failed to do that.
So I'm just going to say this: the Raiders and the Saints have an opportunity that they could go get him.
Yeah.
I would love to see him with the Raiders because that's
Hmm.
just the tough style that they have.
Hmm.
I also think the Saints need to completely, revamp what they have going on there.
Right.
Um, but yep, I think Derrick Henry is a Hall of Famer. On to the next topic. If Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, will that finally quiet the haters?
Easily.
Okay.
Easily.
So my whole thing is like I've on social media I've talked about this. I've had discussions with people, and I think it won't. I think it won't. I think it won't because
Mm.
I think what they're gonna do is he win a Super Bowl, and within a couple years they would be like, oh, he just won one. He's a
Yeah.
one and done. That's it. He's only gonna have that one. And it's just like for me, it's like why can it never be good enough? Why can
Yeah.
it never be good enough? Like I had to sit here for almost 20 years of my life and hear how good Aaron Rodgers is,
Yeah.
how elite, how number one. And my quarterback, Joe Flacco, had the same amount of Super Bowl wins, had more road playoff wins, had
Hmm.
more total playoff wins,
Yeah.
and I got to hear about how good Aaron Rodgers is because in the regular season he only threw 5 picks.
Yeah. I mean, look, I see it like this.
Like,
Imagine being a Packers fan and you have two Hall of Fame quarterbacks for like what the last 30 to 40 years and only two Super Bowls to show for it.
I mean, but you got 2 Super Bowls to show for it.
You got to, but if you got Hall of Fame type quarterbacks, you should have the same amount of Super Bowls that the Patriots have.
Okay, realistically, to understand this, like first to be able to go to consecutive Super Bowls is super rare. To
It
understand that
is.
you have to have the cap space to keep all of those guys there, okay? Or bring some new guys in, plug and play, to be as consistent like that. That is really, really hard to do. And one of the main things is you have to have a cheap roster.
Yeah.
You have to have cheap veterans to where you can make it all affordable. Because
Yeah.
that's what a lot of teams do. They go for broke, they win the Super Bowl, and the very next year they have to let it all go because they can't afford it. And that's happened time and time again. That's happened to the Ravens. Well, that also happened to Green Bay one time.
Mm-hmm.
So, from one standpoint, I completely understand. But my whole thing is, Lamar Jackson gets all of the heat for
Yeah.
everything the Ravens does. The Ravens lose, even though he put up 30 points, and the Ravens lose. It's
Mm-hmm.
his fault. Because he should have threw another touchdown. Like he shouldn't have to throw 5 touchdowns to win.
Yeah.
Four touchdowns should be enough for us to win.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's on the defense. That's on the special teams.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. If he had two, when he had two fumbles, okay, and an interception, yes, then you can call that game on him.
Mm-hmm.
This man has 2 interceptions all year.
Yeah.
All year. So I'm sorry, he is on his best bullshit. Like he won MVP last year. He's already got the numbers he's on pace for are going to shatter. Okay,
Yeah.
what he did last year. So understanding that, it's just like you're going to talk about the playoffs. Oh, well, he's got to win the playoffs. We went to the AFC Championship last year.
Yeah.
We won. It's like the year before he won. So
Yeah.
it's every year he's getting a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And yeah, he had a couple years where he was injured. So yeah, you can't go play deep in the playoffs when you're injured.
Yeah.
So it's like you hold that against him, but those are 2 years that he didn't play. So if you look at it, the first time he went to the playoffs, he lost. Okay.
Yep.
Second time, he won one game, lost the second game. Okay. He was injured for 2 years, then comes back, wins enough, right? Gets the number 1 seed. They win their first game. They go into the championship game. They lose. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now it's this year. Okay. So now he's healthy. He's going towards the playoffs. We're looking better than he's looking better than he ever has. Okay. We're still almost losing some of these games. We did lose a bunch of these games because of our defense. And it's just like, it's rough.
Yeah. I mean, this right here is basically a double-edged sword type of question, because like we're seeing a lot of quarterbacks that can really throw up
No. It is
drop some numbers
being handicapped. Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen some of the worst what is it? Pass interference calls on defense this year. I'm talking about like dude's hand is just resting on his hip. Like he's not hooking him, he's not pulling him at all.
Yeah,
his hand is sitting right there, and they threw the flag, and it's just like he's not impeding on him. That was a non-catchable ball. That was a non-catchable ball. Like all he's doing is riding his hip. That's not illegal. He's not pulling. He's not dragging. He's not yanking. He's not even pulling on the jersey. His hand is flat, sat on his fucking hip, just holding it, just hand on the hip, following, chasing. All right?
And hell, let's not even forget some of the roughing the passer calls that have been made as well.
Yeah, so again, you're handicapping defenses. So that's what makes offenses look better and makes defenses look worse.
Yeah.
So it is 100% a double-edged sword, but the NFL is trying to do everything they can to run up the scores to make things more exciting to get people to watch. Because a lot of people don't want to watch old school football, smash mouth, run the ball, 5 yards in a cloud of dust, baby. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what some of us like. We watch defensive games and 10-3. Like that's a great fucking game. watching these 35 to 42 points, 50 points to 30 points, like, what the fuck? There was no defense, no defense. You just bent around, turned around, bent over, and just said, "Take me." You know what I mean? That is bullshit. That is no fight. That is horrible. Okay, me personally, I don't want to see that shit. So
happy birthday, you dinosaur.
I want Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl at least in the next 2 years. I feel like if he did that, I know it's still a little early, but I really feel like if he wins a Super Bowl with the 2 MVPs and the stats that he already has, and the fact that he in sometime in the next year, and I literally mean this year to date, okay, so if he doesn't do it this year, he'll do it next year by this time.
Yeah.
He will have the most rushing yards by a quarterback in NFL history.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, it's just like you got that. You got the touchdowns, you got the MVPs and a Super Bowl trophy. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So I mean, granted, all of these things have to happen, and of course, I mean, me personally, I'm saying he's gonna have to play at least another 8 years.
Yeah,
I like to have that full where you can see the full body of work. But yeah, no, I'm hoping we can quiet those haters because, dude, it just gets annoying after a while. Because it's like, I mean, my Lamar Jackson is so goddamn talented, and he
really is. Yeah,
he gets shitted on by so many people. It just doesn't make sense. All right, next up we're gonna switch to the NBA.
Okay. Say hi. Say hi to everybody out there.
That's a pretty pussy. You dirty dog.
Yep. We actually rescued her in our apartment complex because she decided to play fuck around and find out and go for a swim in the wintertime.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're switching to the NBA. All right. The Cavaliers are still currently undefeated in the NBA. After the big push they had last year, barring injuries, could they possibly be in the NBA Finals?
I'll be honest on this one. I really haven't been watching the NBA season, mostly because for me the deciding factor to stop watching was last year's All-Star game, and there's just a serious lack of defense right now in the NBA, and Adam Silver is basically like, oh, hey, let's make sure that we have 7-foot guys able to pull up and shoot a three like it's nothing. And it's like, what are we doing? Look, I understand running the scoreboard is one thing, but have we forgotten something called defense?
This is why I brought up the Cavaliers. Okay, they got the Twin Towers, they got Evan Mosley, and they got Jared Allen.
Oh yeah, Jared Allen is definitely slept on.
They're playing big boy basketball a lot, right?
Okay.
I mean, you got Mitchell wheeling and dealing, putting up his 20 plus, on a regular basis. I mean, this team looks really damn good, really damn good. Now, I mean, we're gonna see. We all know eventually every team's gonna get a loss in the NBA. Okay, there's no. It's just impossible to have a perfect season.
It really is.
I mean, like you can have some really close ones, but ultimately, it's just like I mean, I know never say never, but it's not likely.
Yeah.
Right? But again, I think this team has a lot of talent, barring injuries. I think this is a dangerous team, and I mean dangerous. Like I want to say that they could possibly beat Boston.
Yeah.
And in the East,
I mean, look, I'll be honest.
The only true competition in the East is going to be Boston.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. Boston is right now, from my viewpoint, probably the worst defending champion right now. I mean, they have the talent and everything they do, but ultimately, I would have much rather have seen a team like Dallas get their second championship or Minnesota get their first championship, because both those teams were just playing lights out basketball in last year's playoffs, and even the Timberwolves knocked off the defending champs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're saying, but again, for me, I'm the opposite. I am somewhat of a Celtics fan,
Hmm.
but I feel like Brown, Tatum, all of these guys that they had, Holiday, you got White, I mean, these guys have been together for a couple years now, and it's been like, well, when you gonna win?
Yeah.
And they've been pushing, and it's just like, damn it, man, come on.
Hmm.
And now that they've won, it's like, okay, finally, we hit the echelon.
Yeah.
Okay, especially getting Al Horford a ring
Hmm.
after all, you know what I mean, all these years, and this motherfucker's still
Yeah.
playing, even
Yeah.
after the ring is like, but still, I mean, again, are they going to be as good as last year?
Hmm.
It's going to be close. Are they
Yeah.
going to win it all again? I don't know. From what and that's why I brought up the Cavaliers, because what I've seen from the Cavaliers the last 2 years, I think they're going to be super competitive. Especially, like I said, last year the Cavaliers had a bunch of injuries. That's
Yeah.
why it wasn't there for them.
Hmm.
This year they're looking healthy and they're looking hot. I know it's the first 10 games of the season, but
Yeah.
again, that's 10 games, 10 straight wins.
Yeah.
They're on a heater, and
Yeah.
which
I
means
mean,
more likely
they're
you're going to get on another heater.
Yeah, I mean, they're currently 11-0 right now, and the way that the fact that they are 11-0 is just something to watch. But like you said, we still got plenty of basketball left to be played. We're almost a quarter of the way through the season. If they can keep up this level of playing that they're doing, yeah, they very well may find themselves in the NBA Finals.
All right, and then the last thing of the show, the last topic is the spicy parlay.
Yes, sir. All right. So, right now, like from what you sent me, we got Jared Goff for two passing touchdowns, CJ Stroud for one passing touchdowns, Jared Goff for 175 yards, and CJ Stroud for 175 yards.
Yeah,
And yeah, that sounds like a safe bet to me.
yeah. So that's my parlay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I have for the Eagles Cowboys game, I got I'm taking Cooper Rush for a touchdown. I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking Jalen Hurts for 1.5, so 2 touchdowns, and I have Kyle. And then for New York Jets versus the Cardinals, Kyler Murray for 150 passing yards. I got Aaron Rodgers for 175 passing yards.
Yep.
Um, Murray for 1 touchdown and Rodgers for 2 passing touchdowns. I think he gets one early, and then I think it's a tight game. They might score quick, but like I said, this is one of those games where I think the Jets lose. So, but
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers usually, he'll score an early touchdown, and at the end, he's going to try to win this game. He's going to throw another touchdown. So I feel like it's safe to say 2 touchdowns for him.
Yeah.
Next up again, Steelers Commanders. I took over passing yards. I think Jaden Daniels throws over 223.5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's safe. I also got Jaden Daniels for over 1.5 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
I think that's easy money right there. Me personally, I know this is the Steelers defense. I
Mm-hmm.
but this is not going to be like they're playing somebody who can't run and scramble.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels can scramble, he can throw the ball way down the field, he can make pretty much every pass. Now, yes, he's a rookie, but he doesn't play like a rookie.
No, this
He makes
man
very
is
smart
playing
decisions.
like he already has 4 years in the league under his belt.
Now, I mean, I don't think he'll have a 300-yard day, but I think he'll be right around 250 by the end of the game.
Yeah, I could easily see something like that.
Now, I mean, it might not be if he runs away. If they run, they run the ball.
Yeah.
A little scary, but it's a spicy bet. So
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a clean bet too.
all right. Next up, I got Baker Mayfield for 175 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I got Purdy for 200 yards.
Yep.
I got Mayfield for 1 passing touchdown and Brock Purdy for 2
Yep.
passing touchdowns. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos versus Kansas City game. I got Mahomes for 2 touchdowns. I got Bo Nix for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I got next up is Buffalo Bills and the Colts.
Yep.
I got Flacco and Josh Allen for 175. I
Easy
got them
money
both.
right there.
I got them both for a passing touchdown.
Yep, another thing of easy money as well. But with the one bet you have going right now, Daniel Jones for 1 passing touchdown. I mean, we're almost in halftime, and this dude still has not found the end zone yet.
Well, I mean, luckily I only called him for 1 passing touchdown, so hopefully
Yeah.
he can get one in there. So I got Daniel Jones for 1 passing touchdown. I got Sam Darnold for 1 passing touchdown, and then I got Herbert for 2 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
I think he finds Johnston in the end zone. All right.
Okay.
So if you do all of these parlays, which I wouldn't do them all together, if you know what I mean, like I did for $1. I bet $1 on it. $1 wins $2,300. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you break them up, I'm saying today is a good passing yard day. Bet on the passing yards. Go safe. Bet on the touchdowns. That's what I would be betting on today. It's a good day for quarterbacks. I think a lot of these guys are going to hit their minimums.
Yeah.
So bet safe. Final thoughts.
Man, final thoughts. Today is definitely going to be a good day for football. We already saw it yesterday with college football and some of the games that were being played. And it is, man, I think it's going to be a real offensive display of explosiveness and a lot of passing yards. So, other than that, be sure to catch our other show out tomorrow night, Legends of the Squared Circle, where this week's topic is going to be the top 5 entrance themes and the top 5 WWE or wrestling belts design. Yeah, but at the end of the day, a win is a win for BYU. So it is what it is.
Boy.
Yeah, Cam Rising, either go get your doctorate or go into the NFL, man, because you've been spending way too much time in college.
But my final thought is let's get some money on these parlays, man.
Let's do it.
I think it's going to be a great day. There's going to be some teams that are going to get upset. I look forward to talking about the Jets game with you. Yep. That is the number one thing because I'm to a point where I'm over it. We've watched them lose so much.
Mm-hmm. And they had so much hype going into this season. Look, I get it. Aaron Rodgers is finally healthy, but at the same time, look,
lackluster.
Yeah, they have been seriously underperforming this year, and it's crazy.
Yes, sir. But all right, that's all I got, man. You have yourself a great Sunday. Drink some water, stay hydrated.
Oh, I'm gonna be drinking, but it ain't gonna be water.
No, look, I said stay hydrated. You gotta stay. Look, it's like for what, every 2 or 3 shots, you drink a cup of water. Stay hydrated. Stay thirsty,
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, until Thursday. Actually, I'll see you around.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right. Peace out, y'all.